Hello, lads and ladies, and welcome to this, and welcome back for another live stream. It's Sunday. We don't normally do them on a Sunday, but League One calls. We've got to do it. We had a packed Friday, a good Friday. For some, not others. Not mentioning any names, obviously, I was on the losing side. But very interesting results at the bottom of the table. All the results and the games we are going to cover are down below. We're also going to discuss all the results from Friday. We're going to preview Monday as well because that's even bigger. And I said on Wednesday, I love this time of the season. I love the Easter period because things happen. You normally get a team secure playoffs. You normally get teams winning leagues. You saw Burnley winning promotion the other day, or securing certain things, securing safety, and you can kind of plan for next season. But also you have the nitty-gritty of League One. And when I say League One is close, at the top and at the bottom, the top three are also close. You've got fourth just in behind as well. And you've also got the playoffs, three teams all on the same points, and the bottom area tight as well with some impressive victories the other day. But let me know if you can see or hear me all right, guys. Before I do get on with this stream, we have taken feedback of a few things as well. First one, you'll notice there's no Jake. That's the feedback. No Jake. We always listen to you guys on the channel. I am only joking. Family comes first, and Jake will be back with us next week. So, we all have to suffer there. We are only joking. We're also going to put timestamps down below. So if you're watching this as a video, because last week we got, thank you to the 1,700 people, by the way, who watched this back as a live broadcast. So that is phenomenal support. Thank you very much. What a timestamp. So if you just want to watch 5-10 minutes of your certain club, that is perfectly fine. We'll do that after the show as well. And we're also in 1080p as well, no longer 720p. So if you are struggling on 720p, go on your phone, just turn it around, turn settings on, and you'll be able to choose 1080p. All well and good there. But again, let me know if you can see and hear me, guys. We'll come to your comments in the description before we go into the bumper weekend as well. Can you see me? I can. Great to see the Cods doing so well this season. Play up Pompey. Only surprised about when Wednesday's lost form hasn't happened sooner. Everyone knows how more will play. Best players. Difficult to stop. Yes, agree with that. Ipswich to win the league. We'll come to them in a bit. Fourth. Upper Town. Ipswich to win the league. I tell you what, this channel might suffer next year if Ipswich and Wednesday both go up. Looking at the chat, I don't think Winders and Bry's injured have helped them. I've said for a while about Wednesday, I don't think Barry Bannon is their most important player this year. I said last year he was. I don't think he is this year. I thought Bryce is more important to Wednesday than Barry Bannon is. I know that sounds mad, and Barry Bannon especially, his goal the other day was incredible. But since Bryce has come out of the team, and Windass, they didn't have him last year. They were hit and miss. They've had him this year. They've done a lot better. So for me, I'm not a loser, but I'll watch you. Yeah, thanks, mate. Love you. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're all well and good. Up the down. Hello, mate. As a Sunderland fan, I'd love to see you go up. Ben, you need to predict. Why? Because I predicted you fourth for good reason. Knowing that you'll probably get top two. I'm just helping you. You know what I mean? Basically, because if I would have put you second, you would have finished fourth. So should be thanking me. No, we're doing. Hello, you all right, Alfie? Good to see you. Again, thanks to everyone in the comments as well. Hello, Matt. There we are. There's loads of comments. Burn tearing apart again. So we will come to the games quick and fast. There was a lot of games on Friday. Obviously, a full match day in League One. Start off with Accrington. Now, they beat Port Vale 3-0. They've only won 3 and 17 this year, Port Vale. For me, it's not a great start because up until January, I was thinking Darryl Clark is in my top 3, top 5 managers of the year. To come up with a limited budget is an incredible achievement to get where they were. And I know they have money from coming up, and they instead of ploughing it into, the pitch funds where, Vale Park, it is literally like a cabbage patch at the moment. But the winning games of football early in the year started to not win those games they were winning, and they've just kind of. It's weird with them because I'm trying to put it into words. I'm struggling to actually put into words how they're doing because they're playing well in some games, but they're just not getting over that winning line. And it's like a decision will go against them, and they just seem to be all over the place at the minute. And it reminds me a bit of Burton last year, where they started off really well and then went on a really bad run. And the next season they struggled from it. So will that happen to them? They've got a lot of options, up front. Your Butterworths, your Jamie Proctors, your Wilsons, your Ellis Harrisons. They're not spoiled for options up front, but they just seem to be a little bit lackluster, a little bit on the beach. But Accrington Stanley deserve huge amount of credit because they won 3-0. They've gone through a difficult moment. They've not had it their way in the last 2 months. I've slaughtered them for their discipline, although it was Port Vale who got the players sent off this time. A 3-0 win at home is very good because goal difference could be a factor in every department this year. A win at home with fixtures coming up that they'll look to hopefully win as well, favourable to them. It was much needed, with Cambridge also grabbing a win. MK Dons have lifted, so they needed to do it. And the Crown Ground seemed to have lifted the other day. So a really good result for Accrington. 3-0, clean sheet. That was the Accrington of old last year. And that's what you want to see. Strong, at home, scoring goals. Wednesday up next. The former Sheffield Wednesday you're in, I reckon Accrington can go there with nothing to fear, absolutely everything to gain. Why not? Why can't they go there and win? I do think it'll be very, very difficult, though. Next up, Bristol Rovers beat Charlton 1-0. Both sides on the beach, as you call it. Charlton have improved of late, but Bristol Rovers haven't played for 3 weeks, and you probably saw a difference in the teams. Bristol Rovers just looked that little bit fresher. 1-0 win. John Marquis from the spot. 8th goal of the season for him. 10 in all competitions. He's been a good signing for Gas, I think. They've scored a lot of goals this year, mainly through Collins and Coburn and those types of players. They've got quality. Joey Barton's done an okay job there this season. He's pretty much safe with them, as you'd expect with that squad. But the job he's done there in 2 years, overall, in my opinion, steady job. Still a lot to learn. Defensively, they could do with improving. Sometimes they get eaten alive. They've not been brilliant at home. In patches as well. They go on these weird runs where they'll go 4 games, without a defeat, and then they'll go in 4 games, without a win. So, but that's mid-table teams for you. So, Bristol Rovers, of course, there's improvement to be made. If there wasn't, you'd be worried. But it's a pretty solid season, and you've probably got to look in 2 or 3 years' time where they're going to be, and that's hopefully in the top 12, top 10 of League One. The new ground's obviously nearer, which is good news for them. Obviously, I like them. It's characterful, it's got character, it's got, history there, and, it gets a lot of slack, but those types of grounds, I like the old school grounds, Hillsborough, the Memorial Stadium, those types of things, over the likes of the modern stadiums in League One, like, your Derby Counties, your Bolton Wanderers, your Fleet, maybe not, but Charlton, again, disappointing defeat for them. They just need the end of the season now. Keep Dean Holden at the helm. Keep the better players. And it's all about keeping the better players. Obviously, they're going to lose Ratsak, who's on loan. But again, they'll recruit well. They've got the budget to do so. Sell out the Uni Bowl tomorrow. Incredible support. Well done to Bolton Wanderers for putting that on. What happened to your League One? So I'll be honest with you, things kind of got in the way. If there was a demand for it, I could bring it back till now to the end of the season and review it at the end. So let me know if you do want to see that. Just things kind of got in the way and I missed a few weeks. And then I'll be honest with you, it got to kind of Christmas time and then there was a game pretty much every 3 days. And then obviously other things happened. So, Yeah, the fact that Ipswich fans rate Waysall Wesley just shows how far they have fallen. I liked Wes at Fleetwood, and he seems to be thriving under McKenna. That's what I'll say, which is good. Gas was 17th in League One when Josephine took over 2 years later. He's taken them back to the dizzy heights of 15th. I wouldn't say a great job. Maybe that's a bit thinking, but a good job, a steady job. And with that team, what do you kind of expect them to finish? Without Aaron Collins' goals, though, maybe they'd be a lot further down than they are. Early start in the morning, long trip to Plymouth to give the mighty Green Army a hiding. There's always a chance. There's always a chance. Right. We're getting serious now. Burton 2, Barnsley 1. Now. Barnsley have an effort, in the first half that's cleared off the line by the arm. It is a clear handball, and it's not given. Moments later, Burton Albion go up the field and score. And then they go and make it 2-0. Without that decision, Burton Albion are down to 10 men. Barnsley get a penalty. It could be 1-0. Barnsley, in my opinion, go on and win the game. It changes the game. The fact they scored and the fact that they're a man up and the form they're in, I don't see any other outcome. That hasn't just cost them the match. That could have cost them promotion. Not just promotion, a league title. And I've just got to feel sorry for Barnsley. However, they didn't react to it. And champions or promotion teams need to kind of get over it and kind of think, it's happened, go again. So there's no excuses after that, in my opinion. And if you're still blaming that, forget it. Burton won the game after that, 2-1. 2 decent goals. Barnsley did get back in it. Probably should have had an equaliser in the last minute of the game. Craig McGilvery with a superb save, showing what he was all about at Portsmouth. Burton have been really good under Dean Maria since he's came in. I think they're a top 12 club from statistics. So, they're scoring goals. They've got a win at Port Vale early in the year as well. They beat Fleetwood 3-2 early in the year. So they can score a lot of goals. They've got the character to do so. They're well above that bottom area now. They're pretty much safe. I said 44 points will keep safe. They're on 45. So, great win. Barnsley, you just kind of worry for them because they're 6 behind now. Are they out of it? No. No one's out of it yet in that top 4. But there's a lot of work to be done. And Barnsley couldn't really afford a slip-up like Wednesday or Plymouth may have. Wednesday have had a slip-up of, 4 draws and 2 defeats. Barnsley can't afford to do that. And, although Barnsley have been one of the best teams in 2023, not the best, they need to get over it quickly. They've got a match at home tomorrow against Shrewsbury. All eyes on that at Oatwell. Cambridge 2, Fleetwood 1. Yeah, no, off to Exeter. No. So Cambridge were the better side. Cambridge wanted it more. Cambridge were more hungry. They were first to every ball. They won all the second balls. They got the first goal through Jack Lancaster, who's a good player. It's back-to-back wins for the U's. The penalty is I thought it was a nailed on at first. I've watched it back. It's a dive. Should go on splash in my eyes. But again, if they don't get that, they get a second anyway, in my opinion. We were long ball. They dealt with us really well. Mark Bonner got them well drilled, well organised, a performance you want when you're at the bottom of the table. So a really, really, nice display from them. They've got Bolton tomorrow. So, if they can get a point out of that, tomorrow they're going to have to go and spoil the party. They're playing in front of 25,000 people. Bolton well supported, especially at home. They took an exceptional allocation to Wembley and Exeter on Friday. I know they've reduced the tickets, but that doesn't mean anything in League One. When it comes to support, you've still got to sell them. Well done to the owners. Well done to the team for driving these fans into the ground as well. Because if Bolton were 10th or 11th in League One, I don't think the interest would be as high. So again, they're right in with a promotion charge tomorrow. So Cambridge going to have to go there and get something. if they want to keep the hopes alive. They are only just behind MK Dons, only just behind Accrington as well. They've got some fixtures that, are favourable. I know they've got Forest Green Rovers, they've got Burton. I think they have actually got Accrington in those final few games. Fleetwood were awful. The only positive about it was Junior scoring, the full-time whistle, and So if you may have seen it, there was a photo of me having a little sleep, shall we say, before the game. Put it that way. If you saw the game, you'll probably be doing the same thing at the game. Ipswich Town are going up. Keep your comments in, guys. Also, like the stream. We've got 82 people in. So if you could like the stream, it'd be massively appreciated. And subscribe if you are new. Getting close now to 11,000 subscribers. We're setting a very ambitious aim to get it in the next couple of months. So if you could help me out, that'd be massively appreciated as well. Hello, Dylan. Again, I think Plymouth might still be in shock after that Papa John's Trophy final. Great win the other day, though, so you never know. Hello, lads and ladies. And are you surprised Wesley's thriving at Ipswich Town? I'm surprised that he's not doing... I'm surprised that he's doing... I'm surprised he's doing well, but I'm surprised he's doing as well as he is. Sleepyhead Ben. Again, enjoyed your nap on the coach, Ben. A little bit. 9:26 in the morning. Get the time in, as they all say. We'll come to Exeter next because they played Bolton, didn't they? And it was a great result for Bolton Wanderers. To go there and win 1-0, for me, Exeter in League One is one of the toughest places to go in League One because it's a fortress. You've got the big bank behind the goal. It's like... It's just a horrible place. I put them in the same place as Cheltenham, Wycombe. Difficult. That's where they made the fortress. So they've done really, really well in that sense. But Bolton went there with a plan, won 1-0. Conor Bradley scored. I think it was his 5th goal of the season. One of the better players this year. On loan. There was rumoured that he'd be leaving the football club in January to go to Preston on loan. That didn't materialise. He stayed and done really well. You look at James Trafford. Bolton Wanderers will get picks of the better loanees. So they can go to Waitrose, they can go to M&S for their loanees. Whereas clubs down in League One, they have to go through the bins, They have to go to Aldi. They've got to go to Owen Bargains for their loanees. Bolton have a thing of getting young players, recruiting those young players, and doing really well with them. And Conor Bradley, James Trafford, there's a number of else as well in the last few years that Bolton have done well with. So they deserve enormous credit. And Ian Evatt as well deserves massive credit for that because he believes in young players. The players that they get, they don't sign world beaters at Bolton Wanderers. They sign players that are good players, but they make them better players. And you've got to have a good manager, a good infrastructure for that. Look at Dion Charles, look at Kyle Dempsey, look at Conor Bradley, look at Santos, look at Trafford. There's a number of them. So Bolton Wanderers really, I'm like, I got stick off their fans last year, and I probably shouldn't have said what I did, but hello, how are you? Good to see you. Steve, did you go to Morecambe? Morecambe, you don't want to go there, Steve. You don't want to go there. I'm only joking. Away they sleep on nappers. Right. I have a sleep on a coach, and over 1 million people say it. Exactly. Can't get some sleep. There we go. How was Cambridge, mate? In fact, big trouble. Big trouble. One of those. Forest Green 0, Derby County 2. McGoldrick on the score sheet again. Derby County finally get a win. And again, their fans are going to be sick of the result 2-0. Probably not on Friday. On Friday, it was a kind of a nothing to win for them, really. Of course, they got 3 points. They got, stayed in touch with Peterborough. They stayed in touch with Bolton, who also won. But again, they all won 2-0. Bolton won 1-0. Peterborough won 3-0 and Derby won 2-0. They beat bottom of the league, so people are like, oh, you should win. You're back, but it's back to winning ways. And that game was probably handpicked for them, really, if you want to get back to winning ways as well. Forest Green Rovers, it's just kind of when for them now, when they can go down. They're 13 points adrift. So they can't go down tomorrow, technically, but by this time next week, Forest Green Rovers could be a League One football club, a League Two football club, and that'll be the first casualty of the season. They've done well to kind of survive 42 games, if I'm honest with you, the way they've been. So yeah, but Derby, good win for them, good clean sheet, keeps them in the race. That goal difference, though, we will come to it later on. It's very, very close. Ipswich 4, Wycombe 0. Ipswich, right? I put you fourth, right? You know, you've gone on a great run. I knew Ipswich were good. I didn't know Ipswich had this many levels. Things have changed at Ipswich, where since the new ownerships came in, the season ticket sales are up. The fans know everything. Like before, they were probably one of the. They weren't. It wasn't mentioned as many times as you would with other football clubs because they didn't kind of the social media interest wasn't as big as other football clubs. But you know, they say Everton is one of the worst run football clubs in the country. Ipswich they weren't well run. The fans were in disarray. It was flat. It wasn't a great place to be. Players didn't really want to go there. Now you've got it where the fans are buzzing again. They're getting 26, 27,000. The other day, I think they had 27 or 28,000 home fans, you know, at home. You know, they sold nearly 20,000 season tickets. You know, they sell out for every away game. If they had Mars away on a Tuesday night, they would probably sell it out at this point, you know, where, you know, their away numbers are even up. Their interest in the football club's up again, you know, and you know, everything, you know, is being done properly at that football club. And players now want to go to Ipswich. You know, I don't like going to Ipswich because normally it's a hard game, but, you know, they've recruited really well for this level. And when you're beating, by the way, I know Wycombe have only won, 2 in 9, 2 in 10. To beat them 4-0 at home is a really good win. They struggle against Wycombe. They struggle against Cheltenham, who they got on Monday. That is why they're in League One. But George Hurst getting a goal, that is 4 in 4 for him. He didn't score earlier in the season with Blackburn. You know, he struggled. To get a player from that loan move disappointment to come in and score and hit the ground running, it's taken a little while to get him up and running. But now he's hit the ground up and running. You've got to play there in full confidence. When Connor Chaplin gets one, he normally goes on a streak. And, you know, he's not a striker. I saw a few League One team of the seasons, and he's not in. That is criminal. I think Connor Chaplin, I'll say this now, I think he's been the best player in League One this season by some distance, you know, and, you know, he scored goals on a regular basis from midfield. He's given them an outlook. He gets the ball. He turns on the ball, and, you know, he's a very, very good player. You've got Wes Burns scoring. I don't know where the keeper's doing for that. It's a great goal for him. You know, Burns has also got 5 assists in his last 6 games, which isn't being mentioned. He's got 4 in his last 4 and 5 in his last 6. So that's a really, really good statistic. And Freddie Ladapo also scoring. The options they're bringing off the bench is phenomenal as well. I think it's 24-0 in the last, 8 games that they've played. The games they've got left, it's kind of like Ipswich fans are getting goosebumps. They're kind of believing and they're kind of thinking, we're going to do it. You've not done it yet, but you're getting closer. That's what I'll say. Don't think you've won it, because we all thought Wednesday would get over 100 points. They went on a bad run. We all thought, you know, Barnsley were going to storm. They kind of faltered, you know, defeats to Exeter, you know, defeat to Burton, you know, these tougher places, you know, they kind of come at you a little bit. We all thought Portsmouth had it at the start of the year, you know. But another reason why, lastly on Ipswich, Wednesday and Plymouth were top of the league for some time till February for one reason. Well, they were very good at football, but also the home form. Wednesday and Plymouth, the home form, they hardly dropped a point. I think Ipswich got the same amount of points now as Wednesday at home. In the last 10 games, Ipswich have won 8 out of their last 10 games. The 2 draws were to Plymouth at home and Sheffield Wednesday at home. They've won the other 8 games. Now, that is for me why Ipswich Town are where they are, and they're there for good reason. They're going away. Tomorrow they played Cheltenham. Cheltenham have drawn the last 2 games with them. I think it'll be a case of Ipswich need to score first, because if they concede first, they're not used to conceding, are they? They're used to having it kind of their own way, because they make it their own way. If they score first, I can see them winning it 2-3-0. If they concede first, it's going to be a really difficult game, but I see they have enough quality to win the game. We'll go to Wycombe just quickly. Really poor. Since Ainsworth's gone, it doesn't feel the same anymore. I don't look at Wycombe the same. I don't look at Wycombe hard to beat anymore. I don't look at Wycombe, to win many games, especially Ipswich. I honestly believe if Ainsworth was at Wycombe, you may see a lot of a different result to that. They have changed style, like we mentioned the other day. Was it a bit too soon? It wouldn't surprise me if we saw Gareth Ainsworth back at Wycombe in 12 months. In my eyes, because not doing very well at QPR, Matt Bloomfield not doing very well at Wycombe, you could see Ainsworth coming back at the helm. So we'll come to some comments and we will go back. But please like the stream, guys. That'd be massively appreciated. Again, we are appreciating the support. There's over 120 people in the chat. Phenomenal support, guys. Thank you very, very much as well. Again, we are enjoying League One content at the moment. Right, we've got a comment here. Thoughts on Thogden going to Wrexham v Notts instead of his team's home game? Look, it's his. Look, I don't agree with it, but he's doing it because it's his job at the end of the day. I don't agree with it. I think his ticket will be a media ticket that hasn't gone on sale to fans like it has been in the previous forum. So I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon and have a go at him, but I don't care if it's even a media ticket. It should go to a Wrexham fan or a Notts County fan. Hi Nappers, how are you doing, my friend? Colin, the goat from Portman Road. Good to see you, Colin. Hopefully see you very, very soon. Did you make a mega pack lunch for him? I had a Macca's, as you can probably tell. Who's winning the Prem? I've said Man City all season. I'm going to stick with Man City. What a game today, by the way. Ramsdale saving the 95th minute won us some bucks. So thank you very much, Ramsdale. Got a good feeling about tomorrow. That is Matt from Lincoln, who we're going to come on to now. We'll come back to your comments in just a minute. So keep them coming. We've got over an hour, nearly an hour left of the show as well. Again, beat Cheltenham by 2-0. Ben House, again, their 5th home victory of the season for the Imps. Again, another impressive display and 1 point away from the 50-point mark that we all talk about. Again, Jake said it felt good to be back at the bank and it felt like, there was something there. But again, Lincoln's still got an awful long way if they want to improve over the course of next season. But they're better against the better sides. They've got Plymouth tomorrow. So that game could be huge in the running for the side. Cheltenham have had a similar season to Lincoln. Up and down, good runs and bad runs. They've got some good players. They've got Alfie May, who for me is one of the best players in League One. And when you've got one of the best players in League One, all well and good. So, it's one of those games where there's nothing really to talk about. And well done to Lincoln for winning it. And, 2-0. Early in the season, I don't think Lincoln win that game of football. So I think they've improved, by some relative some distance. Next up, MK Dons against Portsmouth. Well. 1-0 up. Joe Morrell gets sent off. MK Dons draw the game. 5 points off the playoffs of Portsmouth. I felt they had to pretty much win every game. Maybe could draw one. This is their draw. They've still got 6 or 7 games to go. It's going to be really, really difficult for them to get into the playoffs now. I really do, because although they're 5 points off, they've got to get 5 more points than those sides. So, do I think they can do it? Of course I do. But do I think they will? No. That's a very good point for MK Dons. They are getting points. Away at Wycombe, beating Aki, beating, Forest Green Rovers away, beating Cambridge at home. They are getting points on a regular basis. So well done to them as well. There's a massive amount of credit. Been a season to get older for nearly 20 years, and this is the best football I have ever seen. Says a lot then, doesn't it? McKenna ball as well. Saw that again tomorrow in Appers. Superb. 2,000 to Cheltenham, I'm guessing. It was just funny they can go on a bad run of form and, exactly. Anyone in this league can go on a bad run, but any team in League One can go on a good run. Shrewsbury won 6 games in a row early in the season. It's ridiculous. Every home game till the end of the season is sold out. Unbelievable support. I do think Ipswich will need to win their home games if they want to win promotion. I really believe that because Barnsley, tough game. Cheltenham is a tough game. Fleetwood maybe not as so, last day of the season, but that is a tough game if you need to win it to win the league or win promotion because there'll be nerves and it's how you react to that. And sometimes teams will have nothing to play for, but it's like a bit of a party pooper. If they could stop you winning the title, who knows? You know what I mean? They'll love that. They'll be remembered for that. Got to say the Plymouth fan, how's off to town? They're flying. Looking forward to Vale away. I was confident a game ago, unsure now where we're heading. I think we'll drop out the playoffs now. Mumbet is out, gutted. Big blow. Big blow. But that's why you have a squad in League One. Hers takes time to get going. Same at Pompey. But if you can give him time, like McKenna has, there you are. I've still got to go to Posh Barnsley and the Cod. That is what I mean. That's why I think if you get 9 points at home, I reckon you need to win all your home games, beat Fleetwood, beat one of Barnsley or Peterborough and draw the other one, potentially, if you want to win the league. Maybe could afford to lose one for automatic, but there you are. Again, we'll come back to the comments in a minute. Our performances have always been very good. We've just got the killer edge. Now, we'll go to Plymouth Argyle now because they deserve mention as well. It's not just Ipswich in this race. You've got Barnsley, Sheffield Wednesday and Argyle. Somebody needs to actually tell Wednesday they're in a race for automatic promotion. But Morecambe score first through Jensen Weir. And as always, Morecambe, I think they've dropped something like 20-odd points from winning positions this year. It's been the story of their season. In the first half, they would be 17th if the game ended at half-time. They rung the changes, 3-1. The 5 subs that came on, 4 of them involved in goals. Jay Matete came on, scored. Mayer came on and scored. Ben Wayne came on and scored. It must be a thing for the Bens being legends and all that. And they won the game pretty comfortably. So 3-1. An awkward place, good win, on to Lincoln, the top of the league on 83 points. Why not? I keep saying for this Plymouth side, I reckon after every win, their fans are thinking, we're going to do it. It's getting closer. You can see it. And why not? Dare to dream for this Argyle side. They're not on a big budget. They don't have a fashionable squad. They've recruited from loans and frees and, they've done it their way. They've got a good manager. They've got a great set of supporters. Why not? Why can't they go and do it? They've had the disappointment of Wembley. Why can't that be the moment that kicks them on to win promotion? Next up, Oxford against Sheffield Wednesday. Now, Sheffield Wednesday, Barry Bannon. Wow, what a goal. One of the best goals of the round, if not one of the better goals this season. Obviously, I'd have to go back and look at all the goals again because, some you'll forget about. But it's a superb goal. I would just killed in the last. The penalty, it's not a penalty, but for me, it all comes down from David Stockdale again, losing control of the ball. It's not the first time it's happened either. It was last week against Lincoln. He made that mistake. Lincoln scored. That led to the penalty eventually being given, which wasn't a pen. Brannigan puts it away. Wednesday had chances through Malik Wilkes, which is a superb save, from the goalkeeper. But again, they just don't win. And 4 draws, 2 defeats. They were winning games because they were keeping clean sheets. They kept 21 clean sheets. They've not kept one in 6 games. They haven't won. And these are 1-1 draws. These are games that they were keeping clean sheets. And Bolton at home, 1-1. Lincoln at home, 1-1. Oxford at home, 1-1. You keep clean sheets in there, you're 6 points extra, you're on 87 points. All of a sudden then, you've got a buffer. You don't anymore. Oxford deserve enormous credit. I think that's 3 draws now in a row for them. Morecambe away, Peterborough away, Wednesday at home. The fixtures carry on getting tougher for them, but they are slowly picking up points. But with Cambridge winning, 1 point aren't enough if other teams are getting 3s on a regular basis as well. So this League One relegation battle is just as interesting as the bottom. Pompey were in complete control until Morale was sent off. There you are, one of your best players this season, and unfortunately cost you the damage. Pompey should have won. Breaking up. I hope I'm here, so let me know if you can see and hear me okay. You did say the day off. We've taken quite a few weeks off. I was only joking Wednesday. They've taken me quite literally, haven't they? So, yeah. Final place predictions. We're not going to do them. We've done them enough. Because I'll predict one thing and it'll be different in 48 hours when I'm back. We've got prediction here, though. Ipswich, Plymouth, Wednesday, Barnsley, Bolton and Peterborough. A great podcast again. Also, if you want more League One content as well, you can become a member. As you can see, Chris has got a green flag next to his name. That means he's a member of the channel. For extra bonus content, you get videos slightly earlier as well. Go in the description as well. There's a link if you want to join as a member. It's £1.99. It all goes to supporting the channel as well. So any help would be appreciated with that as well. No worries if not. But again, you do get choices to choose the videos or what order you want them, or when the video goes out, you get a little bit of exclusive content over there as well. We will be doing a video on Team of the Season as well. We'll come to the next game. Peterborough beat Shrewsbury quite comfortably in the end as well. Shrewsbury on a really bad run, aren't they? Losing 6 to Charlton. They haven't been great, but they're playing tough sides now. And, they've had a good season, but they don't want it to peter out. This is what I hate about mid-table sides. They just peter out. And Fleetwood on Friday, it really annoyed me because I want to remember this season as a good season, because how you end this season also can kind of be your mentality into next season as well. You want to start strong, you want to continue strong, and you want to finish strong as well. So, Shrewsbury need to pick up a little bit, but for Peterborough, what a run they're on. I think they won 4 of the last 5. They've got 4 clean sheets in there as well. They're doing things that they weren't doing, in previous months, where they were conceding goals, losing games of football, So, really good season for the Posh, and they're in with a chance. We will come to the playoffs in a minute because it's so, so close. Many of our goals this season have come from subs off the bench. I always say the sub bench is just as important, and I reckon those top clubs, they've got into the mindset of just because we're on the bench doesn't mean we're not good enough to get into that 11. We're going to come on and affect this game, and we're on the bench, for a reason. Let's get on and affect the game and get into the team. There's no sulking, which is top tier mentality as well. When you get Cheltenham, good football club, but, a little bit of a drop off from last year. But again, they've lost some players, so it was always expecting. 3 subs all scored off the bench for Argyle. There you are. Matete got an assist as well, didn't he? Jay Matete, the former Fleetwood man as well. 6th team to win the 6th team 10 to win the playoffs. Well, Sunderland won it last year, didn't they? And they finished, 4th in the end? Because it was Wednesday 5th, if I remember. No, Wednesday were 4th. Sunderland were 5th. If I remember rightly, because Wednesday were awful at the stadium. They were terrible. Last season, Bakayoko for Bolton basically got subbed on every week and still got double-figure goals. 20 goals, Bakayoko. He does it for a reason. Sneaking in momentum 3rd, always disappointment and find it hard. Yep, absolutely. I honestly think they'll finish in the top 2 now. And I owe a massive apology to Ipswich. I have actually made a video on this, so it'll be out this week. Just kind of working on it right now. But I owe a bit of an apology to Ipswich because I said they were 4th and I don't think they could do it in big games. They've still got a long way to go yet, though, because lose one game, draw one game, they're back in the situation they were a month ago. But I don't see it happening now, if I'm honest with you. So we will come to the League One table. Again, we're at 40 minutes. We've got about 40 minutes of this show left. So if you could like, that'd be massively appreciated as well. Let's try and get near to 100 on this one. We will come to the top of League One. As you can see below, Plymouth Argyle are top on 83 points. Ipswich second on 81. Sheffield Wednesday 81. But the big thing I want to highlight there is the goal difference of Ipswich Town. 9 higher than Sheffield. Sorry, 11 higher than Sheffield Wednesday there. Maths going out the window for a minute. You can tell I've not done it for a while. And then Barnsley, a gap starting to appear there. We'll come to Bolton and Peterborough in a couple of minutes. But Ipswich, Sheffield Wednesday, it's that horse race. Ipswich's game in hand is away at Barnsley. Plymouth have got a game in hand at home as well. 25 victories for Plymouth this year as well. But also Ipswich have scored 2 goals a game, averaging over 2 points a game. That is promotion material. Sheffield Wednesday are also averaging over 2 points a game. However, that wouldn't be enough. I've said for a while this could go down to goal difference, and Ipswich in the last few weeks have gone from 23 goal difference to 47. They've over doubled their goal difference in 8 games time as well. We'll go back to the playoffs in just a moment as well, but that is massive, huge. Plymouth Argyle as well having those extra 2 points. That could be vital for them because their goal difference, as you can see there, isn't quite as good as Sheffield Wednesday's or Plymouth's as well. But also could come down to goals scored at this rate as well. You never know. I think Fleetwood last year went down to goals, got obviously goal difference. But if it went down to goals scored, Fleetwood would have stayed up as well. Bolton Wanderers and Peterborough both on 67 points. But look at this. 22 goal difference for Bolton Wanderers, 21 for Peterborough, 20 for Derby County. Now, as you can see, Bolton have a game in hand. That is against Accrington at home at the University of Bolton Stadium. I believe it is at the end of April, the same day that Ipswich play Barnsley away from home at Oakwell. I will be going to one of those 2 games more than likely. Also, when you look at goals scored, how important this could be. Peterborough, one of the best in the league on 68. But also then could come down to goals conceded where Bolton 31 to 47 to 41 there, their tight defence. Also, just as outsiders, you've got Wycombe, who are on an awful run on 62. Portsmouth on 62. I did say that was a disappointing disappointing draw, for them. They would probably need to win 5 of the last 6 at bare minimum to get into the playoff. Now, I do think it's over, and I do think it's between Derby, Peterborough and Bolton Wanderers. Peterborough have got Exeter coming on Monday, which we'll discuss in just shortly. They've also got Cambridge away, which is a derby, which things go out the way. They've got Barnsley to play as well. Realistically, I was looking through their games. They should be looking to pick up 12 points minimum, which would see them to 79, which I don't think Portsmouth get. Derby have obviously got tough games coming up as well. It could go either way. It really, really could as well. We go to mid-table mediocrity now after that. As you can see, 10 points separate Shrewsbury and Cheltenham. Port Vale just behind there as well. As you can't see it on the screen, I'm not just leaving them out. And then you look at the relegation zone. Burton 45, they are clear. 7 points clear with 8 games to go. I don't think Aki will get more than 45, 46 points. I really don't. I don't think anyone in that bottom area will. I think MK Dons will pull away. In my eyes, you look, I think they've got something like 11 to 12 points in the last few weeks as well. They've started to pick up. Their goal difference is pretty okay. Oxford's is their saving grace at the minute. 20 better than Accrington, 18 better than Cambridge, 23 better than Morecambe, and 35 better than Forest Green Rovers, who pretty much are down. I reckon Forest Green Rovers, the only chance they've got of staying up is winning every game, which I don't think they do. Morecambe, 5 points adrift. They played 2 more games. I do think them 2 are down now. Cambridge and Accrington won at the weekend to give themselves an opportunity of staying up. Cambridge with a home win, as you saw, and Accrington with a home win as well. Both go to promotion chasers tomorrow. Aki away at Hillsborough, Cambridge away at the University of Bolton Stadium. Both will be playing in front of 25,000 fans. So it's going to be a really, really tough one. Out of them, I see that bottom four staying as it is. I think Oxford will have enough. They're averaging a point a game, which I think will stay up this season as well. Aki, although I do think they play Fleetwood next week, and I have a slight feeling they could beat Fleetwood next week. You never know. I believe 2 wins and a draw, though, would keep Accrington Stanley up. So anything can happen in these final few games when looking at that table as well. Just want to look at that mid-table mediocrity just again. Bristol Rovers, you'd label of having a half-decent season. You know, Lincoln City have improved from last year. Cheltenham, again, another steady season after a slow start, losing the first 4 games. Exeter, an outstanding season to win 14 of their 40 matches and to go over 50 points as well. Shrewsbury, much improved, a 6-game winning run in there has boosted them up to the top 10. However, petering out in the last few weeks. 16 defeats for them this season, and their goal difference taking quite a bit of a battering this year as well. Charlton up into the top 12, not where they want to be. They want to be higher. I don't think 12 actually kind of reflects on their season, if I'm honest with you, because I just kind of look at them and I don't think they've been a top 12 quality side. You know, I think the quality of that area, you've got the top 2, top 3 who are really good. You've got Barnsley, probably the top 4, let's be honest. Bolton, who are very good. Then you've got Bolton, Peterborough, Derby, Portsmouth, Wycombe that are pretty decent to pretty average now with Wycombe and Portsmouth nowadays. And then you look at the mid-table bracket, anyone can get 10th. It really is that. Anyone now in that running can get 10th. And that just shows you how poor the league is at times. So it is very, very interesting. And there's still places to be fighting for. I don't like this idea at the end of the year. I said to you all season, the end of the season means absolutely nout for fixtures, because you can kind of think, right, the game's won. It's not, because the end of the season, things happen that you might not have expected beforehand. As well. Keep the comments coming. We will come to Monday's games very, very soon. Oxford are not talked about enough. I mean, they could go down. Well, they went on this really bad run under Carl Robinson, didn't they? They only got the 1 draw against MK Dons, funny enough. Manning's come in 3 draws in 3. Look, it's not world beater, but the run you've just been on, you weren't playing good stuff. You've had a point at home to Sheffield Wednesday. You take that. You take a point away at Peterborough, the way they've been playing. The way Peterborough have been scoring goals and keeping clean sheets, you take that away from home. They are 2 points gained. Morecambe away was the first game, and they were very much closer at this point, remember, because Morecambe have kind of lost the last few games. So there was a 2-point gap instead of a 5-point gap. And you've kind of stopped them from getting 3, and you've got a point. And Morecambe scored first in that game, if I remember rightly as well. So I think it's 3 very good points for different reasons. So Oxford have still got a lot of work to be done, but it's, there you are. Hope Vale beat Oxford on Monday. Oxford, if I could choose an opponent right now, I'd choose Port Vale. Although they battered Fleetwood and we only drew, then if I needed a result, you'd play Port Vale because they're not on a great run. They look flat at Accrington. They just remind me of Burton last year. They are a carbon copy of it. Good manager, Darryl Clark, but things need to be said. I think Ipswich are very good, and Pompey fans love Chaplin, but I think most fans and other teams don't want them to go up. I'll be honest with you, right? As much as I really like it, good, great fan base. I try and speak well about every club in this league, but it's beneficial. There's 88 people on this live stream. Let me know if you're an Ipswich fan in the comments, because I bet you maybe a quarter of them are Ipswich fans. So people like myself in football clubs rely on these big football clubs. For me, get Accrington Stanley, Burton Albion, and Forest Green Rovers to go up, and we want Real Madrid. No, I'm joking, but I like League One for the fact that you've got so many big clubs battling out with so many small clubs, and then you've got some very average clubs in there as well. There you are. Ipswich should be going up for the amount they spent. I get that, should, but they've managed their expectations this year and done really well. Man City should be winning the Premier League. They will, in my opinion. But it's about doing it. It's not always about should. It's about doing it and having the quality to do it and having pressure. Stockton, one season wonder. He's done nothing elsewhere, has he? As an Argyle fan, Fleetwood are the best team we played. As they're the only one to take 4 points off us. There you are. 2 scrappy games. Imagine that last-minute goal against you being, the decider. Fair comment, pal. Ipswich Town Football Club, Ipswich Town. Yeah, there we go. You know me, Nappers, absolutely. So, yeah, can you do me a favour, Ipswich? Either win promotion the last day or bottle it. I'm only having a joke there. Have Cos got any players left from the Joey era? Harrison Holgate is one. I know that, but he didn't really play that much. That's about it, really. Alex Cairns obviously doesn't play, but it's Holgate. There's a big turnover in football, especially in League One. We're going to come to the games on Monday now. So if you could give the video a quick like as well, that'd be the stream a quick like as well. That'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new. We are smashing the subscriber gain at the minute as well. It's been massively appreciated as well. We are very close to 10.6k now. So thanks for the support in the last few weeks as well. Next, we'll go to Barnsley against Shrewsbury. Barnsley at home. I like them at home. Shrewsbury haven't been great lately. They've been getting battered. I just see a Barnsley winning this one in my eyes. Barnsley, very strong, good manager. Duff, been linked to Huddersfield to replace the GOAT, Neil Warnock. What a job he's doing at Huddersfield, by the way. We were potentially seeing Huddersfield. I don't think so now. I think the bottom 3 is nearly set in League One. Bolton, Cambridge, high-flying Bolton on a good run against Cambridge. I just see a Bolton win. I can't see Bolton conceding again. Bolton are just so tight at the back, especially at home. But Cambridge are in good form. Why not? They go there with nothing to lose. If they get a point, then it's a very good point, and you've kind of got a stepping stone there. Charlton against Burton, it's a nothing game, really. I think it'll be a draw, this one, actually. I think Burton have been pretty steady, getting points where you might not expect them to. Charlton, you get a good result, they get a bad result, they get an okay result. That's Charlton for you. Cheltenham, Ipswich, Cheltenham win, pretty easy, that, isn't it? I see it being very tight. I see there being 1 goal in it, and I see Ipswich getting it, winning 1-0, not playing particularly well, going there, getting a doggy result. And that's all you need to do when you're in a promotion race. I don't think Ipswich fans will care who scores it, how it goes in, as long as the ball goes in and they don't concede at the other end. That's all that matters. They've shown different sides to them in the last few weeks, Ipswich, where they played very well, lucrative, attractive football. But then they've also played, times where I don't think they've been great, but they've got a victory maybe they weren't getting early in the season. So I see them getting a victory. Cheltenham have also been their best friend early in the season, where they nearly took 3, but they took a point off Wednesday about 3 weeks ago. They can upset these bigger boys, Cheltenham. Plymouth did go there and win, early in the season as well, quite well. I think it was on Boxing Day, wasn't it? If memory serves me right. Derby against MK Dons. Again, it's a fixture that you'd want being at home. MK Dons have got nothing to lose. They've managed to get points on the board. Again, a defeat and results against them, and they're right back in it again. So that run kind of think, I thought when Fleetwood play MK Dons in 2 weeks' time, I thought that game would have a dead rubber to it. Maybe not with the games MK Dons have got coming up and other teams picking up results. I fancy a Derby victory in that one. Play along as well. Let me know your score predictions down below. We will have a Q&A in about 5 or 10 minutes or so as well. Fleetwood Bristol Rovers. I see another draw in this one. 2 sides, very equally matched. Fleetwood early in the season scored a 96th minute equaliser moments after Joey Barton getting sent off. Peterborough Exeter, it's a must-win game for Peterborough. I think they get a win, 2-0. Again, Peterborough just need to keep winning now because it's in their hands. But again, they need to get a couple. Maybe a 1-0 victory would knock them out of the playoffs. It's got to that stage now. So they've got to keep winning, got to keep scoring goals. But I think they'll know in their head, if we win our last 6 games, our last 7 games, we will get into the playoffs. That's all they've got to think. If they win them all 6-1-0s, for me, you'd be very gutted to miss out on the playoffs, because you've done enough for me to go and get 85 points. You will get into the playoffs with that, because the other 2 won't win every game in my eyes till the end of the season. Plymouth Lincoln, unfortunately, Imps fans, I know there's a few in. They will be well supported as always tomorrow. I just see a Plymouth victory. There's 16,000 there in attendance tomorrow. Home Park is a fortress. I see it being a 2-1. I see Lincoln scoring, but I see Plymouth getting over that line. Port Vale, Oxford, the El Crapico, isn't it? Really, overall. Port Vale haven't been great this in 2023. Oxford been very poor in 2023. I think they've only won a couple of games. One being against Fleetwood in the last minute. I see a draw. That'll take Oxford to 4 draws in a row to 40 points. So they get into that line overall. Oxford will be squeaking the bums on 40 points. Like some others 12 months ago. We're not going to mention names. Bit sensitive. Portsmouth, Morecambe. Morecambe, again, they've travelled in good numbers. I know there's a lot travelled down yesterday. Morecambe are kind of going there with a free hit. I see a Portsmouth victory. Keeps them alive in the playoffs. And maybe a Bolton draw or Peterborough draw, they've got a chance again. So they've got to win tomorrow. That's all they've got to do. They've got to do their jobs. Sheffield Wednesday, Accrington. This has to be the one where they win 2-0, get over the line, and it's like, right, we've got this amount of games to go. Let's do it now. But they've got some awkward games coming up. Burton away, Bristol Rovers away, Derby at home on the last day of the season. These are horrible fixtures. I see them winning this one, but I don't see it being straightforward in the later games, put it that way. And Wycombe Forest Green, I see Wycombe winning it, but not very much, by sending Forest Green Rovers to points really away from being relegated to the 4th tier of English football. Again, when you look at Forest Green Rovers, I don't know if anyone else agrees with this. I don't think there's been a moment this season where I thought they'd stay up, because they've not really shown anything, any fight, really. We've not really spoke about Forest Green, because it's kind of been like, well, have they been here? Do you know what I mean? One of those. With Forest Green Rovers. Keep the comments coming up as well. There's loads of them we will get round to. Again, a lot of Sheffield Wednesday fans in here as well. We sell out everywhere. I'm a Bolton fan, but not one of those big club fans who has the same snobbery for the smaller club and thinks we have the right to beat them. Right mentality to have, mate. Right mentality to have. There's Sunderland were called snobs last year, but for me, they just expected their team to win games of football. That was it. Whoever they play, they expect to win. As a Fleetwood fan, I don't expect to win every game. I want effort. I want 100% effort. And I want to try and go toe-to-toe with them. That's all I want to do. If I'd rather go at a team, lose 4, than sit back, lose 1. We went to Burnley. I didn't enjoy 1 minute of it. We sat back for the whole game. We drew. Look, we were never going to win the game. It was a 1 in 1,000 chance, or maybe 1 in 100 at best. We sat back all game and we didn't really do anything. I'd rather go. We didn't have a shot on target. It was like, well, we've got here. What was the point in getting here, really? What happened against Bolton? What happened against Bolton Wanderers at Wembley Stadium? Sensitive subject for Plymouth fans, that I think. I was impressed. Port Vale are one of the best supporters I've seen at Highbury this year. They travel well. They are a good set of supporters. Ben, we've lost Sanderson 12 for the season, worrying times, but my Betty is a bit shaky. Yes. They've got quality in depth, though, Bolton. That's what I like about them. They've had injuries through the season, but I think they'll get into the playoffs. And for some reason, I fancy them in a 2-legged playoff. Bolton gave us a severe spanking at Wembley. Well done, but thanks for the 4 points. I'd rather have 4 points in a promotion race and win at Wembley in a cup final, because those 4 points could be crucial. There you are. I bet with my house, Ipswich won't win all 7 games. Some Ipswich fans saying they're going to win all 7, are they? Plymouth have been brilliant, but you're going to have to win 7. I don't think Plymouth will have to win all 7. I see Plymouth getting, out of a possible 104, 98. 98. I think they'll be done. I think they'll be promoted by Port Vale away, and they'll be on the sherbets, shall we say. Again, so leave your questions down below. We'll have a 10-minute Q&A or so on Sky Bet League One. If you are new to the channel, subscribe down below. Please like as well. Let me know what you think of these shows. Do you enjoy them? Would you like me to carry them on next season? Because obviously, I really enjoy doing them as well. Obviously, I'm not doing the Championship. I'm not doing League 2. League 1 is where it's at. It doesn't get enough coverage, and some, vloggers in this league are fantastic at what they do. And it's so good to see League 1 growing in numbers. You see what Jake's doing at Lincoln. You see what, Tom's doing excellent stuff with Portsmouth. Jake with the Young Fan podcast is one of the best in the business. Obviously not the best, because I am only joking. Jake is absolutely fantastic. Really good future ahead of him. If he's not in media when obviously gets a little bit older, I'll be very surprised. We've lost Mumba, but we've got strength in the wing back area now. We've got Connor Grant back now. I said in the window, I got slaughtered for this. I thought when Plymouth lost Morgan Whittaker, but they added more players to the squad like Matete, Ben Wayne, those types of players. I thought, although they lost Whittaker, I thought they'd ended up the window stronger than they started it as a team. They'd lost a star, but they added gems. That is what I thought. For me, in this running, you need war heroes, and they've got that. Alfie's gone with some predictions. 2-0 Charlton, Barnsley 2-2. Derby to scrape past MK Dons. Sheffield Wednesday to smash Aki. Plymouth to hold a draw. So that would see that promotion rush. I could see all the top 4 winning tomorrow. Possibly all keeping clean sheets as well. Trouble is, Connor Grant is likely to injure himself getting out of bed. Fair comment. Boris Green lacking meat in a diet. Very good comment. You've got Ipswich to win as well. Wednesday to 4 in the playoffs. They never looked like winning it for me last year. It's kind of like they were a bit afraid of the occasion, and Sunderland just managed that. I was there, and it was just a weird atmosphere. It was a great atmosphere, but it was a very weird atmosphere. It was bouncing, and Sunderland just scored, and it was like, wow, shock. Never seen anything like it. I will be trying to go to some playoff games, all being well. Score predictions for Fleetwood game. 1-1 for Fleetwood. Harry Clark over Liam Palmer. Liam Palmer in a lot of League 1 team of the seasons. I'm just doing mine now. I've got 5 for every position. He is one of my players, Liam Palmer. Connor Bradley over Trent. I know my right back that can defend, eh? Very good, Nappers. Thank you. Great show. Keep it going. Thank you very much. I appreciate it massively. Definitely need to continue for next season. Ipswich and Plymouth Argyle won't be on here next season. There we are. But it's weird because we lost Sunderland last year, who had the chat last year, and it always switches. It's like, there's always someone that comes and goes. It's a bit like your kids at school. You know what I mean? As a teacher, you have a form for 4 years. So we have it for 4 years. They go. We may see him again, but probably not. We had Sunderland for 4 years. They off the going life, and then we get some other club coming down with expecting to win the league in the first season with 140 odd points, and don't quite do it. So, although they can't get 140 odd points, they just expect to. I think Cheltenham away is a very tough game. For us, we never beat them. It's a very tough game. We've got 107 people watching, by the way, so thank you so much for the support on that one. Loving the positivity. Great to again, Ben. Would love to see the Cods turn over Bristol tomorrow. I tell you what, I'd love it if we beat them. Nappers, who do you want to see the? I can't say that. I'm not allowed to say that because I can get in trouble. No, right. If I'm honest with you, I don't want to see anyone win the league. Well, obviously, I do. There has to be a winner, but I don't care who wins it. I just want it to be done fairly. I want it to be done, in the right way. I want them to win the league, winning games of football, not by a referee decision. For me, Plymouth deserve it for different reasons, for doing it on a low budget, for the character to be there all season. Ipswich deserve it for the run they've been on, the quality they've got in the squad. Wednesday deserve it for the 23-game unbeaten run. Barnsley deserve it for the amount of wins against the bigger sides. I honestly do believe at this moment in time, Ipswich could win this league now, but I'll say that and they'll finish fourth. With Ipswich, I still think there's a bit of a turn. I always just kind of think it's too good to be true. And I think some Ipswich fans may think that. But as game goes on, they're probably thinking, no, this is real. We are the real deal. Maybe in the run-in, we may see Plymouth, never been really in this situation as much as an Ipswich or a Wednesday may have. There's been a situation before where there's been 3 teams finished on 90+ points on Wednesday, got out of the league that season. Who knows? As an Accrington fan, I think we'll stay up, but it'll be close. I think it'll come down to the last game of the season at Oxford away. I think you need to get something from Fleetwood next season. I think you'll need to get something from Fleetwood next week. So that'll be huge for you. You've got character and belief. I do think in the summer, though, things need to be done properly at Accrington. Dylan's just become a new member. Thank you very much. You can become a new member of the channel as well. Down in the description below, you get exclusive content, loads of perks. If you fancy joining, you can click the link in the description. It takes a couple of minutes to do so. Who's your favourite 3 Fleetwood players not in League One? Oh, I like that question. Connor Chaplin is one. I'm going to do 3 from different clubs. George Briers at Sheffield Wednesday and Alfie May at this moment in time at Cheltenham. I like strikers like that who can get in behind and make those runs. They're horrible to play against. Nice clip on Friday. No comment. Is it? I'm not being funny, right? We've been doing YouTube for a number of years now, League One content, and all I'm going to be known for is having a sleep on a couch with my mouth wide open, catching flies. And then I get a text. This is a true story, by the way, off a family member texting me a link to worrying signs of sleeping with your mouth open isn't good for your health. Mate, I was having to sleep. I don't want a medical, checkup. Christ, go to Cambridge away. You're not very well. Jeez. Port Vale v Oxford prediction. I said a draw, and I'll stick with that. Scott Brown to be taken by a bigger team. I do think Scott Brown will move on in the next 12 to 18 months, in my eyes. Could be United soon. Plymouth and Lincoln will draw tomorrow. A lot aren't fancying Plymouth tomorrow. What are your thoughts on the lack of League One coverage on Sky? Right, for me, people say, oh, it won't be watched. You had nearly 250,000 people watching, right? Look, you've got the members, you've got the subscribers. Show it more. I don't care if it's one. I don't want. Maybe don't show one every week. But if there's a big game in League One, broadcast it. Plymouth Ipswich a few weeks in January. It was the second week in January. It was right. Show it. It was a massive game at the time. Show it. Put it 5:15 kickoff or a 3 o'clock kickoff, but put Sky TV cameras. They put Oxford Sheffield Wednesday, they put it on Sky the other day. Well done, right? For me, if there's a big game in League One, show it. If it's at both ends. They did it. They do it now and again. They show the playoff. But there should be a rule. They should show each team maybe once a season at least, because it would get more subscribers in, believe me. And this is why I like doing League One, because there's not much coverage for it. So I try and, bring it to people that desperately want it. I try and bring the content that I'd want to watch as a League One supporter. And League Two is a very good league as well. Not great to watch at times, but the drama of it, the National League has got it spot on where they're showing a game every week. Why does the National League have that, but League One doesn't? It's bonkers. It really is. It needs a new provider. the League One and League Two. If they're not going to use it, let someone else have it. They only want it for the playoffs. That's it. Exactly. Ipswich are a great side. I'll take second, not to bother about who wins the league. It gets to that point where you just want to win promotion, but then you'll be gutted that you're not won promotion. Fleetwood Town for a party. It'd be good if you can win promotion last day for your sake. I'm not really looking forward to Morecambe v Portsmouth. I'm saying 5-0 to Portsmouth. Very confident. Again, we were lucky to have some fantastic new owners. Exactly. The new owners at Ipswich have made a huge difference. And that's all you want in a football club. We are going to end the stream here. So thank you very much for watching. We've had, over 100 throughout as well. We've had over 1,000 viewing the stream. So thank you very much. If you're watching this as a video, thanks very much for watching as well. We'll also have a stream later in the week as well with work commitments. I'm not quite sure when that will be. But if you want to go and follow my Twitter, link is in the description below. Go and follow it, and all the news will be on there as well as on my members page. Thank you very much for watching today's stream. It is massively appreciated as well. The support on the channel lately has been phenomenal. We've seen nearly 200 subscribers in the last few weeks come to the channel as well, and the views are up. The kind of the interactions up as well. So thank you very much for watching. A big over and out from me. Until next time, I will see you later for some more League One content. We've got a vlog coming for you tomorrow. Bristol Rovers at home. So get subscribed for that. Turn notifications on as well. That would be massively appreciated, because when I go live with one of these shows, you can't miss out. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you tomorrow. Up the cards. Good luck to your team tomorrow as this League One season finally comes to a close. 4 weeks from today, we will know who's won the League One title, who's won automatic promotion, who's got into the playoffs, and who's gone down. To be in with the last 4 weeks of watching this crazy League One season unfold, join me on the road to it by subscribing to the channel. Thanks very much for watching. Up those cards.